How will I know when labour has started?
The million-dollar question. Yeah. So it's a question that every woman wants to know, and especially women having their first baby. Despite reading and listening, there's no definitive answer. That it's the big mystery. So, but you need to know, because you need to know when to seek help should you need it, which you will at some point.
Yeah.
So it's good to split labour into two parts. One is the pre-labour part, and one is the established labour part, the long part where your cervix dilates. You remember that?
Many hours.
So the pre-labour part is when your cervix is softening and shortening and getting ready to dilate.
Yeah.
And that's often the bit that women are unsure about. And typically it presents with you having an off day. It can start any time from 37 weeks of pregnancy through to 42 weeks. Wake up, feel that you have menstrual-like cramps, backache, feeling a little bit emotionally unstable, and a bit nauseous sometimes. So, and sometimes you have a little bit of a mucousy show, which even can be pink in colour. So, good time to perhaps take some paracetamol and hunker down and go to sleep if it's possible, because it's a good sign that the dilatation phase or the first stage of labour is going to start. Okay. And that's the long bit, that can take on average 10 hours.
I wish it took 10 hours. That would have been lovely.
Oh.
Mine was long.
Oh.
Very long.
Yeah, it can be long.
I think
First
with your
time.
first, yeah.
The first time, yeah. So sleep's everything. So during that uncertain pre-labour phase, just bear in mind that it's really important to sleep. And not just mum, but dad too, because don't forget, if you want support, then, you both need to be rested.
And also, it's nicer then when you don't need them so much for them to sleep. I know that I was actually at the birthing centre, and I could not sleep. Obviously, I was in the final stages of labour. I was in excruciating, I was having a lot of surges and contractions. And Joe had been up for, 40 hours and just conked out on the bed, fast asleep, snoring. And I was like, you're not sleeping. It was the worst time for him, but he was exhausted. Of course he was.
Yeah, of course.
So he needed to sleep. But that was the worst. I would have preferred that he slept earlier on than when I probably needed him.
So you have the benefit of hindsight.
Yes. Okay, I think I'm going into labour. Why don't you have a nap?
Yeah, exactly. So here we are. We're telling you now what to do.
Yes.
All right. Be
Let
prepared.
Your partner have a sleep.
Yeah. And then it's the second, the sort of the dilatation phase, and that's theoretically it's defined as when you're having regular contractions, so about every 5 minutes. They're lasting for at least 30 seconds, and your cervix is dilating. Yeah. But of course, you don't know for sure whether your cervix is dilating, because very few women can assess their own cervical dilatation.
Yeah.
So you probably won't know that until you go into hospital, if in fact you're having a hospital birth. But but you'll know, because it's painful. It is painful, and it's meant to be painful, but it's all positive pain.
Yes.
So
there's a good end.
There is, and I think it's worth mentioning as well that not all women are aware of a pre-labour phase, because it can be a bit worrying if you're sitting at home waiting for a pre-labour phase, but in fact you just start contracting.
That's what happened to me. We were watching a wildlife programme, and I was like, because I didn't have any Braxton Hicks, and I was over a week late, and suddenly I just started having regular contractions every 5 minutes immediately. I was like, oh, this is it. I think I'm going to labour. My husband was like, I think you wouldn't be able to speak, and I was like, no, this is it. It's every 5 minutes. Little did I know that was the start of a very long journey.
No, it can be, but it could have been. It may have been the way it started.
Yeah.
My labour started like that.
Did it?
Yes, and continued. Just at a galloping pace.
Yeah.
But the pushing stage was something else. So don't be worried if you find what you think to be pre-labour is intensely uncomfortable, and you get worried about having to pace and cope with that pain.
Yeah.
It might not be pre-labour. Maybe you went through pre-labour when you were asleep.
Absolutely, everybody's body
is different. Thank goodness, so different.
That's why I always think it's a bit dangerous to share birthing stories, really, because some people, it's so easy for them and the baby literally just pops out.
Exactly.
And for other people, it's a very different story.
It is, yes. So don't forget, you're all very unique.
Yeah, absolutely.